Hey, mighty companions, this is Earl Purdy, and I'm going to read to you Lesson 136, Sickness is a Defense Against the Truth. Having any kind of lack of peace and not right-mindedness, which the Course defines as sickness, is a defense against the truth. Here we go. No one can heal unless they understand what purpose sickness seems to serve. For when you understand what purpose sickness seems to serve, you also understand as well that sickness purpose has no meaning. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, sickness really can't be at all. And when you really see that since it has no intent, sickness can't be at all, healing is automatic when you see that there's no purpose in sickness at all. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of the meaningless illusions to the truth and merely leaves all meaningless illusions there in the truth to disappear. Sickness isn't an accident. Like all defenses, like all plans. Now make sure that you check out lesson 135, the one that I did yesterday, in 2 parts, because it really leads to this lesson 136. So check out lesson 135. Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. And like all the rest, the purpose of sickness is to hide reality, attack reality, change reality, render reality inept, distort reality, twist reality, or reduce reality and the truth to a little pile of unassembled parts. The aim of all defenses, the aim of all plans, is to keep the truth from being true and being whole and being real. The parts are seen as if each part were whole within itself. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are defenses made without awareness. Defenses and plans are secret magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. Defenses and sickness seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use sicknesses and defenses. In that second, even less, in which the choice is made, in other words, you recognize exactly what you will attempt to do and then proceed to think it's done. The truth is threatening something that you believe, so that you create something that makes you doubt the truth. Who but yourself evaluates the threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real? All this cannot be done unconsciously, but afterwards your plan requires that you must forget you made your plan, so that your plan seems to be external to your own intent, a happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you, instead of an outcome affected by yourself. It is this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your so-called reality that makes defenses seem to be beyond your own control. But what you have forgot can be remembered, given willingness to reconsider the decision, which is doubly shielded by oblivion. You are not remembering that you created this and that you're doing this to yourself. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force as far as your desires are concerned. When you're not really willing to take responsibility for your experience, it means you want to keep the pattern going that you've got going. In other words, defenses must make facts unrecognizable. Mistake not this for fact, because defenses must make facts unrecognizable. Defenses, plans, sickness aim at making the facts and the truth unrecognizable, and it is this they do. Every defense takes fragments of the truth, fragments of the whole, and assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that's not there. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. When parts are wrested from the whole, when parts are seen as separate and wholes within themselves, the parts become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. Sickness is a decision. Sickness is a decision. Sickness is a decision. Sickness is a decision. Sickness or upset or problem is not a thing that happens to you quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. Sickness and problems and lack of peace, it's a choice you make, a plan you lay. When for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, which means all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now are you sick? Now you have some problem. Now you have some upset. That truth may go away and threaten your establishments no more. How do you think the sickness and having problems and upsets can succeed in shielding you from truth? I'll tell you. Because having sickness proves the body is not separate from you, and so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because your body suffers pain. And in this pain that you're suffering in your body, are you made one with your body? Thus is your true identity of being a body preserved, which means the strange haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust, that you might be something beyond a body. That thought is silenced and still, because see, this body, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs, and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. And so it looks like the body is stronger than the truth, which asks you to live but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life. It looks like the truth in heaven is more frail than hell and sickness and disease. And it looks like God's design for the salvation and happiness of you, God's creation, is opposed by a decision stronger than God's will. It looks like the Son of God is just a dust and body. It looks like the creation of God, you are just dust and a body. It looks like God is incomplete and chaos sits in triumph upon God's throne. Such is your planning for your own defense. Such is your planning for your own defense. And you believe that heaven and the truth quails before such mad attacks as these, with God made blind by your illusions and false ideas. It looks like the truth has been turned into lies. It looks like all the universe is made slave to laws which your plans and your defenses would impose on the universe. Yet, who believes illusions which are false ideas but the one who made them up? Who else can see the illusions which are the false ideas and react to the false ideas as if the false ideas were true, but the one who made them up? God doesn't know of your plan to change his will for you, which is perfect happiness. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern the universe. And heaven and God and truth have not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die. You can but choose to think you suffer sickness or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. Defenses are plans to defeat what really can't be defeated and attacked. What is unalterable cannot change. The truth cannot change. And what is totally sinless cannot sin, and you are totally sinless. Such is the simple truth. The simple truth doesn't make appeal to might nor triumph. The simple truth doesn't command obedience nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would alter the truth is. Truth merely wants to give you happiness. For such is the purpose of truth, is to give you happiness. Perhaps the truth, perhaps God, sighs a little when you throw away the gifts of truth. And yet God knows, truth knows, with perfect certainty that what God wills for you will be and must be received. It is this fact that what God wills for you must be received that demonstrates that time is an illusion. Because time lets you think that what God has given you isn't the truth right now as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite separate from time. Because time is just another meaningless defense or plan you made against the truth. Yet what the Creator wills is here, and you actually remain as God created. We're going to complete this lesson in part 2. So now click on the link or the lesson that is part 2 of Sickness is a Defense Against the Truth.